So maybe this level, yeah, this level push down here, then we move upwards for me. That's what I would love to see in actuality, or in total honesty. Yeah. I think SMP is waiting to be babied to get into those levels. Okay, we're just watching. Let's see how it goes. Hmm. And I'm building my anticipation for this honestly, because if Nasdaq has rather done this and SMP has done it, well, I don't like how this is looking. It looks shady on the 1 minute, but then regardless, I'm still anticipating longs. And however it goes, we are all here to watch and observe. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's see how the the 9 o'clock treats this. If it treats it properly, then that's a good thing for us all. Okay. I'm still stuck in this way of thinking. Look how that candle is printing. It's so slow.
Hi, Eric.
Hello, Dexter.
Good afternoon, Kokoiti. And his brother. I'm good, man. Sorry, guys, for the tech. We had a little issue, but it's been resolved.
Alright, that's entirely fine. Uh-huh.
Aha.
So, Dexter, in my opinion, yeah, I'm waiting for this highs to be rated. The highs on the 725 highs.
Okay.
Yeah, but Nasdaq has already done that.
Okay. No, that wasn't us.
Yeah, Nasdaq has already done that raid, right? If you're looking at the Nasdaq, let me take it there. You see that he has raided the highs, and it was an aggressive run.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for the SPX 500 to do that, because my bias today, I'm actually anticipating bullish movements.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would love to see Wednesday highs being raided, possibly during the PM session, anyways, because it seems these days the PM session has some level of volatility or energy or something, right?
Yeah.
They have this push. You could see, yeah, last week, Wednesday's price action. Right, let me go to the S&P. Wednesday's price action, yeah, that move that you saw was actually the PM session move.
The expansion.
The expansion there.
Okay.
It was actually PM session's expansion, and I'm like, okay, maybe the PM session has some level of volatility. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then why is that actually? Can you clarify me on that? Because although there are some speculations as to why that is, anyways, but then I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, give me a moment. Let me like arrange myself looking at this chart.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've not even picked up if I'm gonna be a bias today, like seriously.
Well, what I'm asking is not about your bias
Okay,
today.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming in.
So
I'm sorry if I even heard you.
yeah, what I'm asking is,
Yeah.
why is it that the PM sessions always appear to have much volatility than the AM sessions?
Well, it depends on how you see it. I do feel the AM session have more volatility, but sometimes recently
Yeah,
we've had more runs in terms of distance covered in points
yeah,
during the PM session, and
mhm,
that's due to the fact that a lot of the heavy news
yeah,
has been during the PM session, and a lot of the times our white boy in the White House has been
mm.
talking
Oh yeah,
is
yeah.
during the PM session. So
Okay, okay.
necessarily that's why we're having the current issues we're having with
Mhm,
PM looking like they're so serious, but it's not
yeah,
necessarily the case. Normally, PM is supposed to be subtle and the cleanest of session,
yeah.
but now you just have the PM just you're like, where
Well,
next thing
yeah,
Trump said, I did not exempt any tariff. I'm like, you didn't exempt, you didn't hear it on Friday, you didn't hear it on Saturday. You waited for everyone to have high hopes. You
yeah.
wake up on Sunday and like, yo, that's fake news. Like seriously?
Nah.
If there's any house to have information up to date, is the White House.
Yeah,
So, and actually, I was suspicious as I told you on the call yesterday that seeing that he the news didn't come from his handle,
mhm,
because the Trump we know will tweet.
yeah, exactly.
So seeing the news didn't come from his handle, I got skeptical about the whole thing being something to even be worth considering. Oh, it's 9 a.m. now.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it'll give me some time to get myself in check, knowing what I should even expect for today. Because as it stands, I do not know what to expect.
All right. So while you get yourself ready, let's look at the intrinsics of today. And I am closely watching on this pair. Okay. I love that run I'm seeing on S&P right now. Yeah, guys, that's what I actually wanted to see, that run above it. And I would love to dive into it when it retraces into the fair value gap, right? Yeah. But then let's have that happen. Initially where um our exit for today would be you would get to engage on a trade, yes. And for now we are just looking for a more valid entry, something that will give us an amount of confirmation and would not be detrimental to our accounts. Let's see now. Right.
Honestly, I think today might be one of the easiest day to trade in like a whole
I don't like those high hopes.
couple of yeah. I'm being serious. If you've seen the way the candles are forming, I mean it's a one-sided type of move because we are coming from a reversal from Friday. So today to me is just that continuation to the objective we're looking at from Friday. So I think we're just waiting for that 9:30 volatility. Probably it gives us like a retracement to then buy. Okay. Or it could just be a situation where 9:30 comes up and then you just have that initial surge to objective. So once you have the objective, I think that should be just wait for new trade idea going forward. So I think today just that continuation because if you're measuring point where we are now to the objectives, about 185 points. So it's decent enough. So I would just expect maybe a retracement a little bit, then it could offer that buying opportunity to then take it to 19,245. That's what I'm thinking. That's my bias with it. Just that continuation to the previous week's high of both assets, like the US 100 and 500.
Previous week's high.
Yes.
Let me check that out.
No one told me the XY started buying.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. I was trying to tell you that DXY has started buying, right? And hold on, that
Let
reminds
me
me.
look at the bonds.
I was looking at this pair. Ah, goodness, how could I have forgotten that? That's rather sad, I must say. But but then for GU, if you're interested in looking at GU, right? I actually wanted the low on GU to be swept, so that is the 615's low. And right now I'm anticipating price gets into the fair value gap it has left on the 15 minute. That's the 845 fair value gap, right?
Yeah.
And
If I sold E on time, I would have sold it. I was planning to come back to them tomorrow.
actually, let me use a fib on this, so it's much better. If it leaves anyways, do not be dismayed, because all the time that can happen. So let's actually see. Let's see how this is. Okay, so I'm anticipating that price gets back into these levels, and if it gets back into these levels, I would short it. So I'm
For
gonna do this.
who?
That's for GU. Yeah.
Man, I would have shorted it from 7. I didn't say it, brother.
Well, I wanted my low to be broken. It has. I'm anticipating it gets into the fair value gap on the 15 minutes, and
Okay.
yeah, my exit would be on Monday's low. This Monday's low.
Damn, that was clean. Oof. What a time to be alive.
Today's price action is clean. Yeah, I want to concur with what Coco is saying, honestly.
I don't even know what to concur with yet.
We're having a clean price action, but I don't want to conclude yet, because, this market seems to haunt your confidence.
Well, if I'm gonna buy S&P, which I'm not sure I'm ready to try such.
Well, it's up to you.
I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm just gonna give myself more time to really see what's going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a continuation of what has been happening from previous week. Because if we are not likely to trade to the previous week's high, okay, then you have a situation where that initial sell side we're looking at from Friday, that could have easily been taken out. But the fact that we left it and then we've been soaring higher since then, even till this morning, where we're spooling though slowly. But I think we're just waiting for that initial volatility that comes in at 9:30. So we'll just see how that goes. So I have my, what's it called? What do you usually call it? Your powder, right?
Your powders are your
Yeah,
powders
so
are
I have
loaded.
mine ready. So I'm just waiting for a continuation signature post 9:30. Then I could engage it to previous week's high. So I think that will probably be it for Monday for me.
Okay, so my highs, where I intend to exit from would be the Wednesday highs of last week. But then I think my first TP would be around the the high that we had last week. Yeah, let me check that out. That'll be the high for last week. Yeah, that's the yeah. Wednesday high.
Currently looking for shots on Nasdaq.
I don't know for some reason why you get to do that. Well, Wednesday seems Wednesdays always created highs.
Chat. Don't stress it. So this is
Wow. Can't believe this wasn't seen by me. Price would always get back there. I can't even stress it. So this would be my overall low. Not really my overall low, we say just where I intend for price to get to. Yeah, that level. Alright, let's see how this would present itself. Yeah, it wouldn't keep just buying like that. A retracement into this swing level.
I think it's just about patience, waiting to see what gets to play out today.
Yeah, I'm
As a
still
setup.
watching. I can't rush anything right now, you know. Wouldn't be safe if you get to rush stuff.
There could be scalps here and there, but not necessarily the main move for the day.
And it says scalps here and there.
Like the current Nasdaq looking like a sell.
Yeah.
It's not a trade advice, people. Don't worry, I'm not in anything. Still chilling out for the main thing.
What do you think the main thing is?
I don't know. That's the problem. I wish I did.
How would you chill out for the main thing when you don't know what the main thing is?
Well, it's just about having more information.
Okay.
Right, because the information I have right now with price is not information that I consider sufficient to act on.
Okay.
Yeah, so because of that, I'm skeptical about wanting to do anything with the information because it's too trivial. Like I'm using it. It's not the main thing. So because of that, when I say the main thing, I'm waiting for what makes more sense to me. Necessarily. No, my screen is not being displayed today.
Alright, so that will be my first target. Love to see that high being run into. That's my first target is
I don't know if
the
you guys...
Wednesday high. Like last week
You on buys already?
No, I'm not. I'm waiting for a certain confirmation.
Okay. Remember this thing I said talked about getting to a setup to test the markets to see if to get a feel. Like that's what I literally did with the shirts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, you don't really now. It's okay to just say, okay, yes, trying to read the tape where price is going to go, but you're not going to get that feel for it except
Till
you
you have
actually
a
put something.
skin. Yeah.
So
So
when you put risk, maybe not very little,
not serious people.
just little risk, and
Yeah.
then you definitely get that feel for what the market is doing. Okay, because it's not enough to just say, okay, yeah, let me see it, because you're not going to pay that much attention to it as opposed to
If you have
if you're in
something
a trade
in
and
there,
then you've seen it, okay, it's showing reds and all that, then you'll be like, okay, yes, definitely the market is not good here, and then you could now readjust and then think about what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at the cable as well, and
Okay.
now the framework for shorts is pretty much valid mechanically because we ran into that previous day's high, right? And then we are having that confirmation here. So I'm just looking to see a continuation
Okay.
on a lower time frame. So that opposing post candle on an eye, that just confirmed the idea that we might likely start trading lower. And I think Monday's high, it's a draw.
We have the
Not high,
CB and the
rather.
1 hour.
Not
Okay.
the high, the lows. Because if you've seen the way we opened, because we just left those equal lows there and then we
Oh,
opened.
okay.
So now, if I was trading this, I would want to TP here
That's good.
because if you've seen the way we formed that week, it's quite too much. So this to me looks like a reversal candle, right?
Yeah.
Except maybe if you're trying to maybe trade it, right? Short term trade it, then you could now aim for something like this. But
Well,
I do
that
not-
would even be too long for me. What
Yeah.
time frame are you
I'm not out of time frame.
on? Okay, like this is the 1 hour.
The 1 hour.
On the 1 hour, I think my TP is
Exactly,
just
exactly.
here.
Because you want to see a kind of a reversal candle this way. You
Okay.
understand?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't really support an expansion like this. Do you get
Okay.
me?
Okay.
So that would be a very logical level to TP.
Yeah.
So just continuation, take it up to here, and then that should be fine.
Exactly.
So do you guys think with the whole tariff news being fake, that the market could kind of react negatively to that? Okay, this is what I mean. So I do support the idea of price rallying to 31st of March, new week opening up. And then I would like the idea of it clearing out the 3 Wednesdays high
Yeah.
necessarily. Well, now I'm saying that if this news was fake, do you think it's going to have an adverse effect on the market, or do you think the market is just going to just keep pumping? Because the idea that okay, he was going to exempt the electronics, semiconductors, and all of this stuff from the tariffs was like hopes
Okay.
to the Nasdaq. So that was supposed to fuel like optimism with higher prices, and being that the tech what is it called? The tech companies actually hold a very large bulk in the 500 or the 100. Okay. So if those tech companies that were supposed to have like good news are turning out to have bad news, what do you think that is going to be like for the market on an investor side of things? Do you think they're very positive about prices going higher, or do you think that they are negative about it?
Well, if I understand what you mean, okay, you were saying that
I'm just like
Yeah.
asking, like I'm
Okay,
just asking what you
I'll
think.
just,
Yeah.
I'll just add this, okay. Now, prior to the President Trump, okay, just putting on tariffs and then the whole market just soaring higher and this one
Yeah.
dropping and so on. Okay, now let's say for a market like maybe the GBP USD, okay,
Okay.
you can see how we just started pumping all the way. So if you're having a situation where we're rallying like this because of a significant driver, okay, so basically the market will still go back to doing what it's supposed to do, which
Okay.
is coming back down, okay, because this was as a result of tariffs taking it up this high,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if everything had to be calm now and then the whole tariff thing is being suspended, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you will have a situation whereby because the market has printed over close to 500 points on cable, you will have a situation where you have retracement back so as to stabilize whatever the economy, any how do you want to put it, anyhow you want to put it.
Okay.
So in conclusion of what I'm saying is because the market was rallying, for instance now the
Yeah.
cable, due to the fact that the president just hiked up prices of what's it called, the tariffs, right?
Tariffs, yeah.
So because that was the case and it was a catalyst for the market running that high, that for a market like the foreign currency I'm saying. So
Okay.
you could have a situation whereby because we've suspended the whole tariff of the thing, it should come back to where it
He
was.
said this suspension was a lie. Like that's where my confliction is right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what you mean now. Okay, if then you just have to follow the market the way it's printing on a
Yeah.
daily basis because you can't really have like a projection for where the market should be heading to. You just have to approach it every day as it comes.
As a
Because
prince, yeah.
it to me everything changes at every minute. Like every day, like today might be different from tomorrow.
Mm.
Because you might come in and say, okay, yes, the cable will just keep on buying, like my friend said. Because we were talking yesterday, and then he said that the EU is now super bullish that he wants to step in there and start buying. So I told him so I told him before you start buying, okay, because there's what we call the phases of price delivery.
Yeah.
Okay, the market builds up a little phase and then it expands, builds
Mhm.
up another phase, then expands and so on. So the market doesn't just go from an expansion into another expansion, and if
Mhm.
it was to be that way, then there's definitely going to be a problem in the financial market because
Yeah.
the market has to leave small ranges to large ranges and then from large ranges to small
Small
ranges.
ranges. Yeah.
That's why I really do like the idea of trading shorts on the GBP USD back into that range
Yeah.
because if you're looking at it on a daily perspective, we've been expanding.
Okay.
Okay, so the market has to like maybe not completely reverse, but maybe consolidate or maybe a little bit of retracement, but just have a formation of a small range,
Yeah.
just as we had prior to that expansion initially.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to say.
That's cool. I was just asking because if he said it's fake,
Yeah.
then I'm trying to think would shouldn't that be negative news? Yeah, to the market. And a lot of times when I've seen like this gap up, there are few times
Yeah.
where except we're in a trending model where you have a gap up, new week opening gap,
Yeah.
and then you have price just continue higher. All right. And then other times you have a gap up, but we're not necessarily in a bullish market. And we have price just keep you in expectations of it going up, then runs against you probably Tuesday high of the week or Wednesday high of the week. And then it sinks back to that gap that it had created. For me, if I'm gonna buy Nasdaq, I would say currently it's too expensive for me to buy.
Bye right.
Yeah, I would love some sort of retracement, probably equity open, or we just rally into these levels we've called out and possibly have a cleaner setup PN session. That's how like I personally read it.
That's good anyways. And
I'm just noticing Visa is in S500.
you're noticing what?
Visa as a company, like the card.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Meta has a Visa. Okay.
It's fun.
Because I would have been shocked. I'm like, okay. So, let me see how this goes for SPX 500.
Are you on any trade?
I'm actually on speculations, honestly.
He said it was. Mom, bro, it was a yes or a no.
Yeah,
Be honest.
more like the feel to have a feel. I'm actually on the US 500 longs.
Longs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm wanting to see what it gives to me.
I normally don't like looking at the 15-minute time frame before 10 o'clock. It messes with my brain a lot. Yeah, like I like to look at it like 1 hour after, like once it's 10. I feel okay dropping down into the 15 minutes to look for signatures, I would rather look on the 1 hour.
Okay.
But before the 10 a.m., I feel very awkward looking at anything below below 1 hour. This could just be a trending day. Just trends, no entry. Just have fun watching it go higher.
Then
I
you,
love this kind of
I
What?
don't.
why do you like this type of dish?
I can,
just
I,
getting the vibe and look at
The way
are you
sing-
in the buy already?
honestly that like all other vlogs. Oh,
I don't love trending days. I like market to seek liquidity, then reverse. I'm more of a reversal kind of trader. Yeah.
I love let's say
Okay. I wasn't planning on looking at the FX today, so that's why I've not said anything on the FX. I mean, like my eyes are playing the whole reversal GU and EU play today. I'm just like, wow, that would have been so beautiful to watch. But would I have been seated by that time? I don't think so. One of the things I love about indices till date is that I could just do whatever I want to do throughout the day
Mhm.
and just know that once it's 8:30, I should wrap up everything and sit down. But like the Forex, you don't know when. You literally could sit from London session and the main move comes 9. And you're like, I just sat down all day waiting for you to show up. And you decided to show up now. So the indices actually gives me this leverage to like plan my day around how the market is and be like, okay, by this time, from this time to this time is my working hours. Every other thing, I set my meetings before 8:30 New York time. I set my engagements. If I want to shop, anything I want to do, you grab. I do it before the 8:30 because I know that I need like that 30-minute window to um get, should I say, acquainted with what has
what has
gone on
happened.
during the London session. Yeah, and the previous day, trying to like compare and contrast. So
Yeah,
that's why I
I
love
think
it.
that's why the indices are to me much preferable as to the foreign currencies because
Okay.
you have that element of time like the 9:30 where okay,
Yeah.
you know that there's volatility coming into the marketplace. But if you're trading a pair like maybe Euro or GBP, you're only looking at 3 o'clock. That's in London.
Yeah.
That means you want to see that driver reverse for
Mhm.
the day. Now, if it doesn't reverse, then you're now looking at 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
especially when you don't have any news.
But you know, I've taken trades that rallied from 5 into New York because I normally trade like the daily range.
Anyway,
Yeah, and I've noticed that sometimes those reversal setups literally would occur
yeah.
before the New York session, and the New York session presents a continuation setup. And continuation setups is not my thing.
Okay, you don't like it.
I don't like continuation setups. Like, I love to be in the mood from the inception
Inception.
and ride it into whenever they want to continuate or whatever they want to
The
do.
majority of the trades I've been taking are just continuations where we've reversed.
Oh,
And
okay.
then any continuation, I'll take that one, and then it offers me the 2 hour, 3 hour, depending. Like always, most times, what I've noticed that if I'm not timing the reversal properly, I usually always get stopped out. So
Oh,
rather than just bother myself with trying to, I mean, you have to be really dialed in
yeah,
to
that's
catch
true.
continuations. Yeah. So I'm just someone that is going to the chat and then I'm looking for, okay, have we reversed on the day? Okay, if yes, then I can now look for a continuation.
Mhm.
Because even I'm even looking at the euro because it made that divergence with the previous week's high. You see,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
think this one is weaker. So all I'm looking for is just the continuation, and so far on the 15 minutes after that first continuation that happened at 8:30,
It's 9:30, people.
we didn't have that continuation again. Okay, it's 9:30.
Yeah.
So the only
I seen the
continuation
whole pullback from S&P.
SFP.
S&P, like it just a sharp drop, then looks like 930 wants to pump it.
Okay, I've seen it. I think from here it's just continuation. You look for any continuation on that block, you buy it. Simply, it's gonna take us there. Because if you're looking at this, to me, we've already reversed from the bottom.
Yeah,
Do you get me? So
it's possible.
we've already reversed. So I'm just looking at that as a reversal on a day.
Yeah,
So I'm
the
just looking
reverse.
to trade that continuation to the target.
Yeah, the reversal for longs. For me, I'm not against trying to trade the longs.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you just purge some sell side liquidity. Okay, then I would join it on that continuation higher, but after it has purged the liquidity. So it purging the liquidity, because I like to have those kind of setups that are paired with this, should I say, turtle soup idea. Yeah. So, but if it just starts moving the way it's moving, it becomes a problem to me. Becomes a problem to me. So I normally would just chill out and find a scalp during lunch hour. So now we are 9:30. What do we do
That
from
was
here?
a missed move. Like,
Missed move
I mean, on euro, like we already
is
reversed.
dumping.
No, it should keep on trading, but we have already expanded away. Like, about how many points?
If I saw it, I would have touched it from 7 a.m.
Just like about 58 pips already.
That's clean.
That's a lot to even think of wanting to touch it again, because that's like you want to attempt this pair to print times 2 of the ADR.
Nice one. Nice
me?
one.
I wasn't even gonna trade it anyway, so I didn't even look at it. I didn't expect it to offer this type of clean setup. That I just expected it to be very wonky as it used to be.
Wonky. We're still trying to find ourselves right now with the market. Like the whole 9:30 equity has not yet presented anything.
Yeah.
Possibly in the next 15 minutes.
Just a lot of stops.
Were you still testing the longs?
No, I'm still going to be, because we've already reversed for the day, right?
Oh, okay.
Because you're looking at 3 a.m. I'm talking about the US 100. If you're looking at the 15-minute chart, okay, 3 a.m. we didn't reverse 3 a.m. Rather we consolidated, right? And then
Okay.
we ran out that consolidation low, then we went back up. So I'm just looking to trade that continuation to the upside. So at 9:30, if we were having this opposing run, so even favors my idea that okay, if we have a continuation signature, then I would more likely take this to the upside.
Okay.
So now this
I
is
will
where
have to pay for live data next month.
Right.
I hate CFDs. I'm not even gonna lie. Like
it's not gonna give you that. I don't know. It's
there
different.
there's
like,
some
yeah,
there's some levels and tools I use that the CFDs give it. The CFDs don't give it accurately, but the futures gives it so clear, and then it makes me want to trust it. But right now, I try to be very, very flexible with whatever I see CFD is giving me, because it's the kind of thing that you're like, it has to be pronounced, it has to be the thing.
Yeah.
Not, does it look like it? Nah, it's crazy. So I'm just thinking out loud. Nobody should roast me. Freedom of thoughts. I'm thinking Nasdaq
Yeah.
trades into 8 a.m.'s low, and then maybe we stage a reversal from there higher.
Higher.
Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. I don't have a setup chat. I don't have a setup in mind. If I have a setup that I've engaged, I'll tell you. But I'm just thinking out loud. Is that a possibility? Because I see what we're doing right now. We've not made any clear expansion from the 9:30. And if you're looking at the 1 hour, because that's where my eyes have been, like, so far so good. If you're looking at the 1 hour, you're just going to notice that price rally, there's this CB between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. I was watching to see if we are going to trade into it, like on the highs, but I just noticed that we fell short of it. We didn't. And then looking at the S&P, the exact same thing. We fell short of it. We didn't trade into it. So to me, I'm not like, because say if I traded into the CB, maybe one of them, and the other one failed to, then that'll look like a reversal
Reversal.
for at least new day opening gap high. Because I'm not looking at this market and thinking of an entire reversal. Although seeing what Trump did, I'm expecting them to see it as negative news. Yeah. But is it in the market yet? I don't think so. I don't think so. Another thing that could happen in my mind is if this turns out to be negative news, we wash through the new week opening gap high, 15-minute purge of buy side liquidity from 10, and then maybe sink into Friday's high, and maybe new week opening gaps low. Maybe settle from there, because I'm not confident with any buyers strong. I'm just looking at what can you get into and get out. Yeah.
Is there any form of an economic news today?
I'll have to check Econoday because sometimes Forest Factory gets to lie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, sometimes it does.
There are most times that you do not see any.
You don't see it in the right?
Yeah.
There is.
So I like that drop, personally speaking. It makes me feel good.
Always make it good.
I didn't want buys.
No, buys are definitely buys are in the cards, except maybe this market is just going to run to like previous week high, which I don't think so.
Well, buys could be in the card. It's about when.
I think I'll just watch the next maybe by 10 a.m. we should have. a
It's the
pushing
same
button
10
on
a.m. I'm waiting for, yeah.
But this run lower is too deep. You don't want to think about anything like that.
So I'm looking at London lows. If we want to sweep that.
That's like the 8 o'clock news, yes.
2 a.m. lows, 8 o'clock lows first, and then London lows 2 a.m. I'm looking at us sweeping that. That's if we don't find support on 7 a.m.'s candle. That's if we don't find support there. If we find support there, it's not like I'm gonna buy because I don't care about that. I want it to take out London lows. Sorry, 8 a.m. lows first, then possibly sweep into London lows. Then I could think of staging a reversal. That one now makes sense to me.
I'll even rather prefer we have that run back to that 9:30 open again. So if we're able to successfully run back to that 9:30, then I could buy it from there.
I don't want that. I don't want that. You see, we all want different things.
Yeah, but the way it's creating these pay value gaps on 1 minute.
Yeah, I like the Nasdaq expansion, but S&P is not really showing that energy.
So if
It's chopping or something.
It's choppy on S&P,
it's choppy,
exactly.
right? Okay, yeah. I mean, it will be criminal not to run those high. Like it's quite close to that 5,482. The previous week's high.
Yeah.
Possibly we could even run into midnight opening price. I would like that. That would be just slightly below on Nasdaq. That would just be slightly below 8 a.m.'s low. So we've met the new week opening gap high
Honestly, if I had the balls, right, this is a very good buy for me.
for you.
Yeah, with stops below the 8 a.m. lows. 'Cause
Okay.
that should hold price. I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I'm not in it. I'm not touching it. Okay. 1 hour plus. See, this is the problem I have with 15 minutes. The next thing looks like something is happening. Then I look at it again. It's not it. I'm going to stay on the 1 hour till 10 o'clock. Your tech team, how you doing? I was going to say something, but I can't say it on mic. Some things I rather kept quiet. So people, I'm looking for 8 a.m. lows.
Let them know they're going to be cleared by now.
I love we are all in agreement now.
So they're actually looking for the
I'm not arguing that, okay? But I just need them to come lower. I just need them to come lower, okay? If they keep coming lower, then I'll feel better about if I want to buy. But if they were going to stay up there and think I was going to buy, they're playing. It's not me. They are playing. So midnight opening price is my first outlook for Nasdaq. Yep. So we just got midnight opening price on Nasdaq. We just traded below 8 a.m. lows. I'm so impressed with such a thing. Now I want to see if S&P does the exact same thing. Because if S&P doesn't do it, then that's a question. I don't even get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I would not like that. Please, S&P, don't do that. That would not be nice.
It doesn't even make sense. A couple of
Don't make sense. It would not make sense. S&P, just take out ATM loans. Don't do that. Come on, bro. Be nice. Be family. Nah, people. Trust me, I don't like the fact that S&P doesn't want to take out the lows. All right, so I'm looking for London lows, as I mentioned earlier. 5 a.m. lows on Nasdaq. I'd like to see us trade below that.
5 a.m.
Yeah, 5 a.m. lows, 1 hour.
S&P is taking up low.
S&P has not traded to its 5 a.m. low.
5 a.m. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we've taken out the 8. Yeah, thank you for that. That's beautiful to see. So now I want to see if Nasdaq takes out the 8 a.m. lows. Sorry, the 5 a.m. lows. I'd love to see that. So now let's talk about the buys.
I can't even frame buys anymore because the structure on the 1 hour doesn't even confirm. It doesn't that's why you wait now. It doesn't confirm the buy.
So that's why I said let's talk about buys now.
Because buys could have made sense, right? If that London low stayed in, right? So it doesn't make
For
sense.
you would have loved that. I know I wouldn't.
Okay, you prefer buys now.
I'm now I want to talk about buys. I want to talk about buys now. I want to look at price and be like, okay, what would you have to do to buy? That's what I'm thinking now.
This is what you have to do.
So okay, I'm just gonna say this. Look at the closing price,
Yeah.
Sunday 8 p.m. I want to see price trade into the on the 1 hour for Nasdaq.
Sunday 8 p.m.
Yeah, on the 1 hour, the closing price. I want to see price trade into that.
I think if we are even able to still close this week, we might likely be seeing
Okay.
see
We're close. We've just taken out the 5
see
a.m.
from
lows.
Friday. But the fact that we have this gap, okay, that might just keep price there stalling, and then maybe Tuesday drop a little bit and then continue higher, something like that. So
Yeah, Eric, so the Sunday 8 p.m. Is close, has been traded into. So now I'm looking at the fact that S&P has not taken out its London lows.
yeah,
Nasdaq has taken out its London lows. So
so
I want to see what that information means to us right now. I don't know if you understand me.
yeah, I get what you mean.
I want to see what that information means to us right now.
How about the Dow? We checked what the Dow is doing.
God forbid.
Now you can see the Dow is still staying that strong, right? So I think if you want to buy, you don't want to be buying a pair like Nasdaq because we're very weak.
Trust
Okay.
me, if I'm
You
going to
wanna
buy, I'll
buy
buy
maybe
Nasdaq.
the Dow or the
the US 500. I think I would even prefer the Dow for buys as opposed to
Okay.
yeah, because exactly what I was looking for is what the Dow is presenting. So if we are able to close back above 930, so that would give you that a confirmation for buys. But if you taking a look at the range from where the 930 is to that old high, that's previous week's high, doesn't give you that much of
Shit.
a run in terms of points. I think it's about um it's about 160, okay, 170 points. So if you're
Okay.
trying to be a buyer, you want to be buying it while it's still sitting right where it is right now. But the structure doesn't really confirm that. Except maybe you're going on a 1 minute. If you're going on a 1 minute and then maybe you buy an opposing close candle, that would work. I think that should even
I want
work.
to see if we could trade above midnight opening price. I would like that. Currently looking at where we are right now. That's the Nasdaq. And we're currently showing resistance to the midnight opening price.
Mhm.
So I personally want to see how we treat that level because except S&P takes out its London lows, then the buys are still in the picture for me. If S&P takes out its London lows, then I'm not interested in it, right?
Actually, the normally if this was a manipulation of
In my opinion, I think that the S&P has interest for its London lose.
That will make
actually.
more sense for me,
Yeah.
actually, yeah. Because leaving it there premature is skeptical. Very, very skeptical. So I've noticed that we've not traded into the midnight opening price on S&P.
I
We
think
still.
it should because the Nasdaq is just driving these things lower, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you saw the way we traded below the the London low, right? Like if it's like a manipulation, you have a situation where we run it and then we're
Okay, so
closing
we've
back
taken
in.
out London lows.
Okay, we have.
Yeah,
Okay.
on
So
S&P.
you would have a situation where we are trading below London lows and then we're getting back into the range, right?
Okay.
But if on the 5 minutes you're having a situation where we are not doing that, rather we're closing outside and then we're creating maybe a continuation signature on a 1 minute, then that would probably take this thing lower to maybe 18,600 or thereabout,
Okay.
right? So basically, like you said, you want to see how it's treating the midnight open price.
Yeah.
So basically, if I'm seeing opposing calls candle get closed below, so that's a confirmation for lower prices. But I really don't trust this thing going lower, right? So this was just an initial running out low resistant liquidity. So if we are closing above down close candle, like maybe the down close candle at 939, then that would be an entry. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm currently watching how we're printing right now because, as I said, I want to see if we get to rally above midnight opening price.
Okay.
I like how we're forming right now on the Nasdaq, but I'm not yet confident. I'm just trying to like arrange my thought pattern. See.
I think the whole thing just makes sense now for wanting to frame longs. So I think my longs are good on US 100, US 500,
Okay.
but I would prefer to buy the US 500 because
That's stronger.
yeah, that's stronger.
So I want to see if the Nasdaq creates a BC.
Actually, I'm on the 1 minute, right? So I'll just buy the next 1 minute candle, basically.
Oh, okay.
Then my stops goes below the low.
It's way higher. You're talking about the first presented fair value gap, right?
Mm.
It's high. It's high up. Okay, so are you in on the longs, Coco?
Yeah, I'm about to. Yes. So longs on US 500 and then stops below the low at 947.
Yeah, you won't believe my broker is freezed. I'm not yet in on the longs. I'm watching that BC, the
Okay.
949 BC. For real, my broker is freezed, man. I don't know. Like it's frozen. Looks like network. Interesting.
So
Okay,
basically, I'm
back.
just expecting if this stuff is to go high, I'm just expecting that 10 o'clock to then take it to those highs.
Okay.
So that's where my tip is.
I'm personally waiting for a retracement kind of entry, but let's see. Hopefully, we don't run without me. That'll be so unfair.
Okay,
that's
you're looking to buy as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure, man. I told you I told you it had to drop first. I told you it had to drop first for me to feel comfortable wanting to buy. So we're currently in the macro hours, macro period. I really would prefer if it just runs from there. It's not looking clean.
Okay, to the upside, right?
Yeah.
It should hold. Just ignore what the Nasdaq is doing.
I'm
Nasdaq is
with-
gonna get weak, right?
I'm waiting for it to just show more strength, personally speaking.
Okay.
It's not encouraging.
It doesn't look encouraging. It doesn't. It doesn't.
It's not
From what-
encouraging. I mean, if that 1 minute candle closes bearish, I wouldn't like that.
It shouldn't. It will spool eventually. Remember what happened last week?
Eric doesn't like it one bit. Yo, Eric, so have you taken any trade today? So
It will spool. It's good.
Yeah, I was told that the testing that
Oh.
feel me.
just to get a feel. So the way we pulled back, if you look at the 1 minute, there was
Yeah, it
this
goes up, yeah.
We're good.
very tiny 949, between 947 and 949.
Yeah.
Yo, Eric, you know your screen is the one on live. So I hope you're sharing it to the audience.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I want to see us run from there, like with speed.
Buy side. I mean, 930 highs are like 925. I mean, 26.
I'm looking back for the Wednesday highs.
Of
Did you
course.
guys give up?
No, I'm still. It's like it's about how many points? It's
Oh,
not that
okay.
much of points now. So I'm just
Yeah.
saying, in case you want to partial out, right? It's about 20 points.
Oh, okay.
So rather than just take partial there, it's a very logical level where you just run across, right?
It's just for us to see. We're currently above midnight opening price, so if we can hold above midnight opening price, it will make sense. To make more sense.
The structure is a bit better. So basically, down close candle should be able to hold price, right? So if
Yeah.
you're having, I'm on a 1 minute by the way. So if you're having
Okay.
a situation
I'm
where,
going to Econoday to check if there was news today. I'm hearing.
so if we are having a situation whereby the consequence of, I mean, the mean threshold of the down close candles are not holding price, then
Yeah.
you just know that it's likely to just continue lower. But
Mm-hmm.
I think this should be good, right? So that's a good. That's a good one.
I don't like this resistance actually.
Even the-
Resistance where?
Feels like it's a resistance.
Well, It's just to see what they do. I mean, you can't control it. By 10 a.m., we're gonna really know what's up.
Then it will just be that continuation because this is more like a reversal, right? So the only thing that would make sense is if you just keep printing up those green candles to the upside.
For me, I would just want to see it stay above midnight opening price. That's Nasdaq.
Nasdaq, right?
Yeah. As long as we keep staying above midnight opening price, that would make more sense for higher prices.
You know, there is a way I always grade my how do I call it? Like my trade setups. Okay, if I'm bullish and then I'm buying below the midnight opening price and below 8:30, that to me is a tier two type of setup.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is I'll allocate more risk to it as opposed to if I'm just buying below the 8:30 already. Do you get me?
Oh, okay.
So this is a very, to me it's an A plus setup for me. Do you get me?
The way you're
Because of the
hyping the
fact-
setup
No,
recently.
I'm not forget the fact that forget the fact that I'm in the trade. It's not
Yeah.
that's not the reason. I'm just saying that if I'm buying below 8:30, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm bullish
Yeah.
and then I'm buying below 8:30 and then we are still below the midnight, right? So I'll just
Okay.
call that a tier two setup.
Oh, okay. That's how you grade
That's
your
how I grade
setups. Okay.
setups, yeah. And it's more likely to fail actually.
Fail?
It's more likely to fail because
Okay.
I'm just saying that if I'm bullish, now
Okay.
assuming the day is not bullish, so basically you just be buying
Yeah.
a market that is predisposed to trade lower. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So if I have a strong conviction that we're going to trade higher, then if I'm buying below these levels, I'm calling out
Yeah.
the midnight and the 8:30, then I know that it's a strong setup for me.
Okay.
I think the next 3 minutes you might just have that expansion. It will even be better if we have that opposing close candles. That means we're able to close
myself at this moment.
above the down close candle. Then you could say, okay, yes, we're liable to trade higher.
this kind of rejects.
I think engaging on this, like, I'm just a step back trading my head.
Okay.
So that if you hit the stop, I don't know, okay, we come on that.
Yeah, sure.
The stops are below,
That's same low now, right? Yeah.
yeah,
So we're still above midnight opening price.
Yeah, I'm gathering. It's
actually
not,
have
it's not bad.
by paper trade and then a real trade.
Okay. So paper trade for them to see live.
Yeah. If it hits stop, which is the
What pair? S&P.
S&P, which is the 945
I'm
zone,
45.
then
Okay.
not engaging again to
So 10 a.m. is gonna be here in any moment from now.
39. Shady.
Why is everybody with their phones on silent?
I'm thinking my message, you know. No, the thing about me is, if I'm in the setup,
Yeah.
I don't do calculating my phone. So that you don't try to micromanage again. You end up
Yeah.
getting yourself out of a very decent trade.
Or hurting yourself.
So I just that's why I'm always controlling my risk. I don't know, and I'm putting it on.
Yeah.
Do you use Headwheel right now?
I only used it for that.
Okay.
I just
I'm looking for someone that uses it so that I could have enough motivation to use it.
No, I'm going to deposit into it.
Because if you're trading with the mindset that this is what I can afford to lose, you're in a better position than if you're like, yo, it has to play out. I'm in with my last funds, bro. A lot of times, 11 o'clock doesn't give that energy I like to see like in price. So the other thing I'm thinking right now in my mind is, if this doesn't look clean, then we're looking at the launch hour to have something cleaner, or we consolidate into the launch hour. So that's currently like my thought process.
I just think what you've seen from now, I'm not saying this based on the fact that I'm trying to hype the setup so that it plays. Right? So if you're looking at what we've been doing from, let's say, Monday 1 o'clock, or let me just say midnight,
Okay.
all this low resistant liquidity, high resistant rather, you can see it's going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
So that's why you're having the 9:30 do a little bit of a stop run
Okay.
for the folk that are probably trading, okay, very tight. Okay, so all I'm saying is I'm just stripping away all the price action from midnight down to where I have 8:30.
Yeah.
So 8:30 is where I have my true day open, basically.
Okay.
So if you're framing like an open low, high and close of a daily candle, okay, I'm trying to use the 8:30 because that's where the more of, I don't know, maybe algorithm, so to say, right?
Yeah.
So they're making reference to the 8:30 as opposed to the overnight session.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, those who have been trading the overnight session, they're rolling stops pretty tight. So once you have the market having higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, maybe say three of them, you would have a situation whereby one of them has to be taken out to then reverse price to the upside. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think we should. Is it 10 a.m. already? Okay, it's 10
Yeah.
a.m.
Sure.
I think that's
We're
just
still within the macro. You know, the macro is from 9:50 to 10:10.
10:10.
So we're still within the macro.
So basically, this is now if you're going back to the 4 hour, okay, you can see how we slowly just dip down into that down close candle, which is a buy, right?
Okay.
So that buy isn't a full buy. It's,
Yeah. So I'm marking my like target levels. That's why I look like I'm disjointed with you.
so like I was saying, like
Yeah.
if you're looking at the on the 4 hour, if you're looking at that down close candle, that's the bullish order block.
Okay.
Like I said, in a continuation, the market is always going to respect down close candle to
Yeah.
push higher. So if you extended that down close candle, okay,
Yeah.
it's more like
We're good. We're good.
it's more like
Just
you're buying
laptops unplugged.
it's more like you're buying a bullish order block. Okay,
Okay.
that's for the folk that like to buy.
Well,
higher
I'm
down
currently
candle.
at first presented fair value gap.
Yeah.
Just updating.
It's a very good, it's a good one for the stream. To be honest, yeah. I think I would partial out that the minor buy side thing, two contracts can come up there.
You enter them.
Yeah. Two down.
That's crazy.
I like to see the current 15-minute candle close bullish.
Yeah, you should. Now, remember when I was saying that I wanted to see a 15 minutes close. Now, if you're waiting,
Just give me a moment. I forgot to go into my 15-minute candle. It's normally around this time I like to like.
For some reason, my MetaFi is glitching.
Okay.
think you should close it down. I think it happens, especially if you are supposed to take a very wonderful setup. Anytime you're about to take a setup and then you haven't, just know that that's a very good setup. It's when you're about to take something, you see everything is running smooth, right? You just want to put on that train and then while
Let me different perspective about like if everything is moving smoothly, then there's something wrong.
it's a very good one on the stream.
So you people, if you're scared of holding the trade for higher levels, you could just close out your trade at 927's high. That would be a good enough target. Where we are currently, you could take partials. You could take partials where we are currently, and then you could close out at 927 high. I feel we would sure expand. The only thing that will make me think of closing this trade is if S&P takes out the 9 a.m.'s high, and I'm seeing Nasdaq being sluggish. Yeah, because even when I get to like compare, I still get to enter my trades on Nasdaq. I really do not enjoy entering my trades on S&P. Personally speaking, it's just me.
Okay, you don't enjoy taking trades on S&P?
I don't.
No, like I take trades in both of them. Now, like
Okay.
you said, you saw the way the Nasdaq was dropping lower.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me to buy that one. I want to
Oh,
buy
okay.
the stronger one if I'm bullish.
Yeah.
And then if I was looking for short, I would sell the weaker one.
Okay.
Because you're going to have easy runs to target as opposed to if you're buying.
Yeah.
Yes. The same thing I did with Euro and GBP USD.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I did there.
For me personally, I just love Nasdaq. Like regardless, look up. Regardless, I just love trading Nasdaq at all times.
There's an issue with my so I have closed multiple times and nothing was happening.
You've closed the trade multiple times.
No, I mean my
Check if your app is
Could it be the
outdated.
space for your phone?
no, it's not space. I think it's my network. I'm not just saying like you have to reset the network to get
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, bro.
I'm not sure if I can do
Right now,
that.
you had your TP set now.
Yeah.
Let the bulls win.
Did I have it?
Okay.
I knew the one my SL. I knew that moment when your TP said go SL.
And that's a problem.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Like SLB is set and then TP is not set. I think that's preferable to me.
I mean, like the. I'm not gonna stress. Like your TP being set by SL.
That's very bad.
Yeah, that
I thought you were talking about the other. That's very bad. No.
Currently, we're having some sort of resistance at the first presented fair value gap.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm currently just watching the 15 minutes to try and understand how they're
So I
building.
think actually on the 1 minute, I would, because if you're looking at it now, you're having two favorable gaps. So I would
Yeah,
want to
I'm
see-
watching the first one
yeah,
to
so
hold.
the second one should just stay open. Right?
Yeah,
So if
exactly.
we are coming all the way down, then just know
That's
that-
the problem. Yeah.
So at that point, you could go to break even because
Yeah.
you're saying that.
I'm actually at break even because for me, price coming all the way down to the
Exactly,
second one
exactly. That should-
is not
that should
something
be-
I want to be in price watching.
So pretty
Yeah.
much break even, but not partial that yet.
I mean, you don't have to hold on to all your trades being a winner.
A
You
winner,
just
yeah.
have to trade the logic you see.
It's quite sad that this is happening.
What's going on?
His broker, his MT5 is not opening.
Is it a broken thing?
I think it's the MT5 thing. Check if
It's
the app
empty.
is
It has happened
updated.
before. It's empty 5.
Yeah. Check if the app is updated, outdated.
I think I rather just control distribute.
Alright, then
Okay, you
do
go to
that.
their platform
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So that's the kind of expansion I don't like.
lower, right?
Yeah.
I think I got stopped out there.
You got stopped out there?
Break even, yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I'm out. No, my entry was quite lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the rejection is actually good.
My entry was lower. So I'm still good.
The brokers getting funny, right? Can't do that me.
You could use the Egnes platform. I'll just start with
So it's a Monday, people. Don't stress it. You don't have to force anything. If it's not playing, it's not playing. This is one of the reasons I like using the futures contract because now I'll be able to read exactly what these levels, prices touching are and what exactly they mean to price. Yeah.
because if you're looking at the CFDs, it's not really telling you what level. You can just touch
Yeah.
everywhere. Right?
The levels are not levels I can really base logic on. If we go any lower from there, I should be stopped out on break even.
Which is very good.
I have a problem with that. Yeah,
What's up?
let me check it.
Since my broker is not letting me in, I'll be stopped
That
out.
was
Stopped out at myself.
that was very close. I've not been stopped out yet, but that was very, very close.
It's also very, very close to my stop out, my break even on the paper trading.
Oh, okay. I would prefer if we want to buy, we should just rally from there. Like,
Yeah,
stop the
honestly,
games.
We want to buy just
Stop
rally
the
from
games. As soon as I saw them consolidating at the first presented fair value gap,
Yeah.
I really got suspicious of their movement. Yo, people, this is what real trading looks like. And those brothers flipping this, flipping that around. This is the real thing. So how do you manage yourself, you Eric, when trade doesn't get to meet your expectations?
When you say meet my expectations, in what way?
Like you, for example, like these longs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think I should even be asking Coco that got like break even. So you were expecting like higher prices. Like, how do you manage yourself after situations like this where it got to deny you of what you felt was the right thing, and yeah, it stopped you out. How do you manage yourself in such situations? Maybe I'll also ask myself because that's break even for me now.
First of all,
Yeah.
I'm always allocating risk to whatever setup I'm taking. So if I'm coming into the day, I could just say I'm risking a certain amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Right? If I know I want to do more than a trade, I mean, I want to do two trades, right? I would have
Yeah.
that risk by two. So in this case now, if I went in on a full risk and then I got stopped at a break even, and then if the trade is still more likely to pan out, you would definitely know.
Yeah.
You would know, and then you could now do the same risk again, even though you're not going to get the point value in terms of the dollar amount you should be getting.
Yeah.
But okay, you've taken the trade, you've risked that amount, and then
Mhm.
it comes out green, right?
Yeah.
But if, let's say for instance, I allowed the trade to hit my stop loss, I'll just know that okay, yes, it's not likely to trade high again. So what I do is I usually pick a particular direction for the day, and then I'll just trade in that direction.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how the idea of okay, maybe we're thinking longs, right? And then
Yeah.
longs doesn't offer you. In some scenarios, I could bend the rules, and then I know okay, yes, my bias for that day was wrong. Then I could now get on side with that initial shot I wasn't looking for initially.
Yeah.
But if I know for certain that okay, yes, I'm looking to trade long this day, and then there's no how you would know when you're wrong. So if you're
Yeah.
wrong, you don't try to maybe switch and then try to make it back, because I've discovered a lot of times if you're trying to make back what you've lost, it
You
turns
lose
to
more.
bigger losses. Yes.
Yeah.
So you just have to just allow it and then come back the next day, obviously.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. Did your broker finally open?
It hits me since my stop loss.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, why would Exness do that? And it was a good thing you did take partials when you did Coco.
I didn't. I was
You did. I told you like you were gonna take
no, my
partials.
passions was supposed to be for that high from
Oh,
those
okay.
highs, yeah, right. So
Yeah, but I do like the way the trade was managed because seeing how price is turning around from where it is,
So
it
this is
just
just shorts actually. So if you're someone that if you're wrong on your first attempt, you just go in and then reverse it.
I'm not doing that.
Now, if that now turns out to be a bullish day, then you would teach yourself to death. Honestly, yes, it has happened before where
How is that
you're
possible?
thinking shorts, right? And then the market end up presenting longs. It stopped you out on short, right?
Yeah.
And then you said, okay, let me do longs as well. And then you're in longs. All of a sudden, your shorts were right.
Yeah,
Think about something like that.
that's crazy.
But what I like to do is I do not like to move my stop loss from my invalidation if I've not partialed out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm always going full risk. I should
Oh,
get stopped out, not break
yeah.
even. So I'm only moving my stop to break even when I've scaled out from the position. Like I
Okay.
was looking to scale out above those highs. So that would be the only reason why I would move my stop to break even. Not if it offers a little, except maybe you partially out, then you could break even there.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a re-entry, but I'm just watching for the signatures it's gonna give.
Okay. Now, your re-entry, are you taking it on like a more higher time frame, or you're still
No, I'm still gonna go down to the 1 minute, but I'm observing what we're doing on the 15 minute first.
okay? I still think it's bullish, right? But
I'm still bullish,
the
obviously.
reason why we're having this sluggishness is that on 15 minutes fair value gap,
Reversal, yeah.
that fair value gap. So that's what's holding price. So if we can break through the high at 10 a.m., then we're likely
Okay.
going to see 19,245.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
If I do get stopped out on this one, that'll be it. I'm not yet in though. Okay. So I'm watching the Fair Valley Gap.
Are you
on-
trading? Yes.
I'm still Nasdaq. I'm not
Okay, you
interested.
were on Nasdaq all the
Yeah.
time.
Still not interested in trading ES. I don't like trading ES. So I'm watching the Fair Valley Gap between 1018, 1019, and 1020 for a re-entry.
Okay.
This is a problem. On my broker, it's heavily down. And then things like this get me very skeptical. Well, it's all risks. So I'm in on the longs again.
Okay.
Try now those higher
So-
prices again.
So we're respecting that bullish order block on the 5 minute. So the wicks are
On the 15-minute?
on the 5 minute.
Okay, fine.
So what you're seeing is the bodies are respecting the midpoint of that order block.
Oh, okay.
So that's to say that the low
What's the situation?
that's to say that the low made at 10:15 should hold. So if you're on longs and then the low at 10:15 doesn't hold, just know that you're likely to now trade low.
Okay. I think we're gonna have to kill this stream here, people. So as I said, I'm staying on long, looking for 927. Stop loss is at 1018 low. So if you get that, then kudos to you. So we'll be killing the stream here. Thank you. You want to say something?
All right. So like my colleague said, yeah, if 10s, 18s low is
Yeah.
violated, then everything's gone. And if you're like me, that your broker is deciding to be very wicked to you,
You still be in the trade
still
by
be
now.
in a trade by now. But it's all good anyways. Good luck, good trading.